Hello there, everybody. Hello. Happy Wednesday. Welcome to Chatting with Doug, where you get to ask Doug the questions that you've always wanted him to answer. We're happy to see you all here. If we didn't see you on Friday, welcome back. Well, I like that you had to put your smile down. Thank you, Doug.
I'm just so happy.
Just so happy.
Put the smile down!
Oh gosh. Anyway, I'm going to go over the rules here so that we can start getting to the questions first here. Sorry, I got distracted because I'm seeing the bot is not working in chat, and I might have to troubleshoot that while we first answer our questions. But I'm going to go over the rules first. All right.
Do you want me to go over the rules while you check that out?
I can do it.
Okay.
I can do it.
I was frozen.
First and foremost here, we give priority to the bit messages and super chats, since that is some real world money spent. Towards the end of stream, we sometimes have time for regular chat questions from YouTube or highlighted questions from Twitch, but we cannot guarantee that we'll be able to get to those. But if you would like that, for us to not answer that question, wow, words are so hard for me right now. I am but a fool being a jester in front of the internet. Anyway.
A fool, but being a jester in front of the internet. I make a t-shirt out of that.
Just a gesture. Anyway. Save your questions towards the end of stream. If you ask them now, I'm not going to be able to scroll back up and see them. So once you see that we have reached the not limit, but the end of the paid questions, then you'll want to ask the question. Okay. Please do not repeat yourself over and over again in chat. You can get timed out or even banned if you're going to continuously do that. You don't need to repeat bit messages or super chats. You doing okay there, Doug? Is Chaplin assaulting you?
I was frozen today.
I'm not in a good place.
You don't need to repeat bit messages or super chats. We have a list here of all of the bits and super chats. It is very, very rare that we actually miss one. Just have some patience. Sometimes we can get to over an hour behind, so just have some patience. We are going to prioritize on the YouTube side of things super chats that are $5 and over. We just get such a large volume of questions that this is an easier way for us to sort through it. We will, of course, thank you if you give us a super chat under $5, but we cannot guarantee that we will be able to answer those, again, because we just get such a large volume of questions here. Please watch the length of your questions. The longer it is, the faster I have to read it, the more likely it is that we're going to lose the point. We do not have time to repeat it. Along those same lines, if you absolutely must break up your message into multiple parts, please limit it to 3 absolute maximum. Again, we sometimes lose the point and we don't have time to go back and try to figure out what you're saying in part 7 and how it related to what you said in part 2. So yes, 3 absolute maximum. Also, please keep it to 1 question per bit message or per super chat. Again, we have over 100 people in chat here, and they are looking to have their questions answered too. So it just doesn't feel fair if you get to ask 5 and other people haven't even gotten to ask 1. Okay. Please no spoilers. I got so far behind on Daredevil, and I know it was the season finale yesterday, and I just don't know. No spoilers, chat. Okay. No spoilers. Okay.
I hope that's the thumbnail that freezes when this goes on YouTube.
Yeah, me too. And I think that's it.
I think we good.
Okay. Great. Fantastic. Let's get to it. Alexander, thank you for the 500 bits. What are your thoughts on the new Naked Gun trailer? In my opinion, it has the best O.J. Simpson joke since Shrek 2.
I agree. We were at convention this past weekend, and we were talking about Rob hadn't seen it, and I just told him about that joke. We were in the middle of a Thai restaurant, and he didn't burst out hard loud laughing, but he was doing the silent laugh. You know, that. It's been a while since I've seen him do that kind of laugh, so he was like, "Okay, maybe it'll be good." So yeah, we got a good laugh out of that.
Noah Zinner, thank you for the $5 super chat. Doug, would you please add Telltale's The Walking Dead to the poll on the next Twitch game you play, plus get the definitive edition with all the games in?
Not on this one, because the past couple it wasn't really that close to winning, but maybe in one of the future ones. Should we mention that?
Yes, we are going to be doing a poll at
Yes.
some point during the stream. So, yes, that's happening.
I just realized.
JL, thank you for the 500 bits. Do you prefer Batman the Animated Series or Batman Beyond?
I haven't gotten through all of Batman Beyond. With that said, Batman the Animated Series. I'm liking Batman Beyond fine. I don't think I've gotten to those really good episodes yet. I'm maybe, I don't know, 6 in, something like that. And again, it's fine. I feel like they kind of wrap up before they start getting really interesting, though. So, I think I gotta keep with it because I heard a lot of people say good stuff about it. And I really liked Return of the Joker a great deal. So I'll keep with it. But right now I'm watching shows for Disney-cember, so I'm taking a little bit of a break in there.
The Wizard of What, thank you for the $5 super chat. If you thought the face from the Eagle Chips commercial was freaky, look up Nick Jr. face, and you will know fear. Gen Z knows what I'm talking about.
Maybe it's something different than what I thought. Nick Jr. face. Let me see. Yeah, no, this is the face I thought. What am I missing? I've never seen that stupid little face. Just go, hi, kids. We're gonna, baby stuff. I don't know. I'm just a face on Nick Jr. You don't care. Keys. Why is everyone like, that's the devil? Maybe I had to be a baby watching it. I don't know. I did not see especially what was scary about it. And I like finding scary in odd things.
James, thank you for the $10 super chat. Hello, Doug and Heather. We love and appreciate you, Heather, and know you know how to use a computer and the one who makes everything work right. That's for you and Dasha. Thank you. I do my best. Sometimes I'm just Googling, but, we're doing our best.
If you ever feel underappreciated, watch those internet, those Family Guide 2 videos, and you'll just be like, hey, I feel appreciated by the internet, by everyone, because just anyone's treated like Dasha. What?
Treg, thank you for the 500 bits. Hi, Doug and Heather. So
Hi.
I am late to the game, but I did finish season 1 of Avatar: The Last Airbender. While I loved the Storm episode, the season overall was more of an enjoyable 7 out of 10. I wasn't getting why it was beloved as it is. Would you recommend that I keep watching, or is the show more of a what you see is what you get?
No, it does get better. I did really like the first season. I definitely wouldn't describe it as perfect, but it does have some of the best episodes in there. If you got into, what was it, the Storm episode, there are more episodes like that coming up, and the seasons do have some good twists and turns and surprises and more good philosophies and stuff like that. There's a lot and good characters coming along the way. There's more good stuff on the way. Like I said, it isn't just a repeat of the first one either. I keep with it. I think you'll like it even more.
Trip, thank you for the $10 super chat. What, in your opinion, distinguishes artistic, disturbing imagery in kids' film, like Coraline or The Witches, from just disturbing and inappropriate, like Nutcracker 3D or Son of the Mask?
I think some of it just ties into the spirit and the idea of what it's trying to get across. Maybe like the Grimm's fairy tale test that's trying to teach a very simple, basic, a lot of them are teaching very simple, basic lessons that we agree are, good for kids to know. But depending on the version of it, it can get very, very grim, pardon the pun. It can get very gory and mean and harsh and dark. But people get it. They're like, no, but this is to teach something good or to recognize something that is in reality and we should acknowledge is beneficial to understand. Where something like Nutcracker 3D, I don't think understands itself even about what it's doing. And, the bad taste in it is not very smart or clever. It's really, really dumb. And, like I said, hard to follow just what it's trying to do. So, hopefully that answers that.
Nate, thank you for the $10 super chat. Doug, I suspect you dislike The Benchwarmers, but that film is a guilty pleasure for me, and I think Rob Schneider actually gives a good performance. Will you ever review Benchwarmers?
I've never seen it. I have gotten a few recommendations for it, but I've never checked it out. Maybe I will.
God of Chaos, thank you for the $20 super chat. How did you want Game of Thrones to end? I would have Littlefinger manage to be king on the Iron Throne, and when the Walkers invade, have Jon and Dany kill the Night King, and then ruling together, I'm a romantic Sumi.
I don't know. So I'll say this. To some extent, the ending has to be a little underwhelming in terms of who gets the throne. So even though I love it, without spoilers, I know a lot of people are angry. I'm kind of like, yeah, but we should be a little angry. There should be a little bit of disappointment there because that's kind of the overarching theme of the show. So I feel like even though I wouldn't necessarily go that route, you can. It's everything else just didn't tie together. It didn't feel worth the buildup and all the extra subplots. But like a lot of people said, if you gave it more time, if you did give it an extra season, maybe it could have worked. But because they did squeeze it all together, and you just couldn't understand a lot of the weird choices they were making, yeah, I don't think it came together.
Matt, thank you for the $5 super chat. How would you rank these Hollywood actors? Oh my gosh. Matt, did you do this? I did not. I was looking at something else because the bot's being a little jerk, and I think they did this on purpose. It is basically nonsensical. Yeah. The first one is George Clooney's.
Oh my George Clooney's.
Yeah, I think it's all just okay. I'll try because I don't think it's a trap so much as it's just weird.
Here's my guess. I think it's gonna be name set up like that, and then the last one is gonna be the trap. That's my guess.
It probably is. George Clooney's, Brad Poots, Mert Derwin, DeCapricorn really got me. BoJack Horseman reference. Oh, is that what it is?
Oh, okay. Man, I don't remember. You know, I love that show, but I've only seen it once.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm sorry. I tried my best. There was
favorite...
two other ones, but I feel like just put me out of my misery.
My favorite order is Hermagerd and Derpy Derpin. It's my favorite.
Great. Fantastic. Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. How would you rank these J.K. Simmons performances? Tenzin from Korra, Ford from Gravity Falls, Klaus, and Nolan from Invincible. Claus, sorry.
Yeah, probably Nolan from Invincible, then Klaus. Actually, maybe the order you said just backwards. Yeah, I'll say Tenzin, and then the brother from Gravity Falls.
At Movies, thank you for the 500 bits. Thoughts on the trailers for Megan 2, Naked Gun, and Tron Ares?
Tron Ares looks neat. I like bringing it to the real world. I think that's cool. Naked Gun looks funny. It's only a teaser, but it's a pretty funny teaser. And Megan 2 just isn't my camp. And I really mean like campy. It's not my kind of camp. That's not to say it's going to be bad or it's not going to have a lot of laughs and everything in it, but I appreciate it's doing something different from the first one, but I don't know. I don't know what I was expecting. I like that the first one was playing it straight, and this one feels like it's going from like, I don't know, Fast and Furious 3 to like 10 in the next movie, which is, some people could say is fun. I get that. I just think that's too big a leap, but I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what people think.
Will, thank you for the $5 super chat. Good evening, all. So, Doug, I'm curious, would you ever review the 1998 direct-to-VHS film Joseph, King of Dreams? It's a prequel to The Prince of Egypt.
I remember liking it. I don't know if there's a ton to talk about. But it was, for a little direct-to-video feature, you know, it was fine. I think that's kind of a review right there.
James, thank you for the $5 super chat. Doug, would you be so kind as to divulge for a clue as to what next week's NC video will be?
Oh, you'll be craving it.
I love it. Treg, thank you for the 500 bits. Thoughts on Taika Waititi? I'm a real sucker for tragic comedies, and I think he has mostly mastered the genre. He may have had a couple of misses with his last two films, but his work in television like Reservation Dogs and Our Flag Means Death show he still got it.
I haven't seen the Flag Means Death show yet. I hear that's very good.
I really enjoy Our Flag Means Death.
I was adoring Reservoir Dogs until I think the third season. It started to get a little silly. It just got sillier and sillier. Where I'm like, no, this was a legit like harsh show. Like the comedy kind of came from the harshness. And it just got goofier and goofier. It became more and more like a silly show with silly show setups. So that was a little disappointing. But I do have a little bit of a fear that he is becoming like some of these, kind of like James Gunn is a little bit, or it's a little too formulaic. I think he needs something maybe to shake it up, to mix it up, which is why actually I like that James Gunn is doing Superman. I'm curious what he's going to do with it like that. That is something that will probably be a little different. But I like him fine. But yes, I do have that fear that he's doing, maybe a little too much. There's a little too much of that goofy style in there where I like before where yes, the goofy stuff is there, but that harshness is there too. I think that's very important.
Nate, thank you for the $5 super chat. Hey, Heather, what's your favorite Pokemon movie? For me, it's Destiny, Diox. I'm so sorry. And what's yours? Okay, so I actually only saw the first 3 animated Pokemon movies. The first movie, 2000, and the third one, I can't remember if there was a subtitle to the third one. Oh, you know what? Detective Pikachu.
Ah! Okay, I was gonna be like, I only saw one. No, I didn't. I saw 2, and I do like that. Was probably the favorite.
Detective Pikachu. We'll go with that. Dolphin Crescent, thank you for the $5 super chat. I'd love to see an animated version of Doug metamorphosized by the Super Crown.
That's from one of the Mario games, right?
The Super Crown?
The Super Crown? Yeah, is that something where you put on and you become like something else?
I genuinely don't remember what the Super Crown is.
Let's find out. Super Crown. Not in Super Crown. Yeah, it's a Mario thing. Maybe I don't know what this is.
Oh, that one.
Yeah, don't you become like a kind of like another character, sorta? Or am I confusing it with another crown thing?
I think you're thinking about the crown for like Bowsette.
Yeah. All right, this is something. First thing that came up is Waluigi with this thing on, because like, of course it did.
Of course.
I don't know how it works. I'm sorry.
Safrius, thank you for the $10 super chat. When will you guys start an official stream group for fans to interact in PC games like Team Fortress 2, Counter-Strike 2, etc.? Oh, a Steam group, not a stream group. Sorry, a Steam group. That's probably not going to happen. Sorry. Super Droid, thank you for the 500 bits. I like You Got a Friend in Me. I like how whimsical it sounds and it gives me nostalgia, but I will say Randy Newman is basically a less talented version of Bob Dylan.
Oh, just to compare him to Bob Dylan feels weird. You got a friend in me. Yeah, that just sounds weird. But I see why people, especially if you grew up with it, I can see why someone would like that. I still have my headphones on. Something fell in my water, and I have another water bottle right there. I'm going to see if I can run out and grab it before you finish the question. And go.
Okay, fantastic. Dev the Wiser, thank you for the 500 bits. Favorite Brittany Murphy movie?
That would be Clueless! Clueless! Yeah, like I said, Clueless.
That was perfect. Wow.
Actually, technically, she's not the star of it, but technically, I'd probably say Sin City.
No, I just read that. Mass Nerd, thank you for the $5 super chat. Father Douglas, Sister Heather, forgive me, for I have sinned. I accidentally called Bulma from Dragon Ball, not by name, but I stupidly said Goma. I've never mispronounced a name in my life, so I wouldn't know what that feels like.
Same. Watch the Avatar vlogs. Never ever happens.
I do not famously spend 50% of my time on these streams mispronouncing names. No.
Not at all.
Theater Crowd, thank you for the 500 bits. In honor of a Goofy movie's 30th anniversary, favorite classic Goofy cartoon?
Man. It's got to be one of the sports ones, either the football one or the hockey one. Those have the best. Probably the hockey one, though. We do watch the football one every Super Bowl. We try to see if we can squeeze it in before the halftime show starts.
James, thank you for the $5 super chat. So I looked it up, and the fifth army for Hobbit is wargs or wolves. So humans, dwarves, elves, orcs, and the wild wargs.
I don't even remember them being in the movie, but maybe they were.
Matt, thank you for the $5 super chat. Two soda commercials you should check out are the Chaz Parliamentary Vanilla Coke ads with a young Aaron Paul and the short-lived Make 7-Up Yours.
I remember that. Yeah. So Orlando Jones, is that his name? He was the spokesperson for 7-Up for a bit. That was pretty funny. And I do remember the one with Aaron Paul. I thought where he sticks his head through the little thing. Yeah, I remember that being pretty funny. I don't know if I can like comment a ton on them like for a commercial special, but I do remember them. I remember them being pretty funny.
Girth the Cinephile, thank you for the $5 super chat. For you both, what's a film genre you don't get into / is your least favorite, but a film from that genre that you absolutely love? Mine is fantasy and Lord of the Rings.
Probably westerns, and I say the ones I like most are probably Tombstone and Unforgiven, which are about as opposite as you can get. I did see The Good, Bad, and the Ugly, and I thought it was very good, but yeah, my personal favorites are probably those two.
Nate, thank you for the $5 super chat. Heather, who is your favorite Yu-Gi-Oh bad boy? Kaiba from Duel Monsters or Zane from GX? I've never seen GX, but it's always going to be Kaiba. It's always going to be Kaiba. AOTV, thank you for the $5 super chat. I know you weren't a fan of Temple of Doom, but it did introduce Steven Spielberg to his future wife, Kate Capshaw, and they've been together ever since.
That's cool. No, there's always a thing where I think people bring up to actors and directors or whatever, anyone who works on a movie, you know, oh yeah, this was bad. Oh, it must hurt so bad, blah, blah, blah. And there is always a way, at least in Hollywood, if you're bright enough, which I assume most people, you know, it's got to be some brightness in these productions. Everyone goes into it knowing there's a chance this could be awful. You just don't know. And even a lot of people like them. With some people, that's their favorite Indiana Jones movie. But anything you make, you know it might not turn out. You do it for the experience. You do it for the exposure. You do it because you love acting. You do it because there are a lot of great stories. You do it for the great people you meet sometimes. The money's nice, too.
Trip, thank you for the $5 super chat. Have you ever seen the ultimate Christmas present Disney TV movie? Love to see a Disney December on it. Also, poor Rachel Zegler.
No, ultimate Christmas present? Is that what it's called?
The ultimate Christmas present. It is a
Christmas
Disney Channel TV,
present.
or I shouldn't say Disney Channel, it just says Disney TV movie.
Yeah, never heard of it. I'll try to check it out.
Biddledy Bip, thank you for the £5 super chat. Hi, Doug and Heather. Have you seen a couple of British movies directed by Shane Meadows? Dead Man's Shoes and This Is England. Worth a watch.
No, I have not seen those. I'll try to check them out.
King Croker, thank you so much for that 58-month subscription. Welcome back on Twitch. Appreciate that. Using my sub anniversary to ask Doug to review Rockin' Through the Decades, a special based on Alvin and the Chipmunks starring Fresh Prince. It's what Will Smith was credited as. The only real issue I can see is copyright strikes for the music, but that can be easily swapped for Doug's voice chipmunkified, singing all the songs himself as a dub. Come on, you know that'd get views.
Oh, you know what? I think I've seen bits of this actually. Yeah, where they take like there's like some Michael Jackson songs in there. It's like I think there's even some rap songs in there. That's funny. I don't remember Will Smith hosting it. That's really funny. But this actually might be a little fun to just some of the people they're dressed up as is pretty funny. Yeah, I might check it. Oh, here's an ad for it. Yeah, there he is. He's got like a little Santa hat on. Okay. Yeah, I might actually give that a watch. That sounds kind of fun.
Matt, thank you for the $5 super chat. I just looked this up. It is a trap. Chris, thank you. It was about a Nightmare Fuel commercial that had a name that would have made me say something. Chris, thank you for the $5 super chat. What's a series that's nearly universally loved, but you couldn't get into no matter how hard you tried?
A series? Well, I mean, like movie or TV show, do they say?
A series that's nearly universally loved.
I guess that could be anything. Man, I know there's I mean, I love the first Jurassic Park movie. After that, I haven't gotten into any of them. Harry Potter's good, but it never grabbed me. Man, in terms of ones that like everybody loves and I hate, I don't know. I'm sure there's something, but that's about the closest I can get to. Sorry. Oh, the Spider-Man villain movies. I never understood them. I mean, the one that was probably made fun of the most is the one that I was like, I don't know, I thought it was all right.
Sorry,
So,
I know
yeah.
you just went on that. I was only half paying attention. Did you mention a TV series? They specified a TV series in chat. I just
They
saw
did.
it. They did.
Okay, TV series. I never got into Glee.
That's
Chad
so
was just like,
valid.
nope.
Glee is a mess, but it is my kind of mess.
I get it. That's what I hear.
Case, thank you for the $20 super chat. Doug, you've said the types of horror movies you like the most are the supernatural. I've got the perfect one for you. The Borderlands, aka Final Prayer. Do not spoil the ending for yourself. It'll mess you up for life.
Is that part of the Borderlands Final Prayer? Is it all one thing, or
Borderlands, aka Final Prayer, is what they have. So I don't know.
there it is. 2013. Never heard of it. I'll try to check it out.
Treg, thank you for the 1,000 bits. Do either of you have a favorite Daniel Radcliffe movie or performance? Mine has to be Swiss Army Man, although it's pretty ironic when an actor's most lively and convincing performance is when they play a farting, lifeless corpse.
I do like Swiss Army Man. It's gonna sound weird. I really like him in Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt. He just kind of plays this happy-go-lucky guy that I forget if he's gonna marry her or what exactly what, but he was just so happy about everything and so cheerful and and just on the Choose Your Own Adventure one that he had by far the best ending where like something happens where like because you can choose your own adventure and sometimes characters die and Kimmy Schmidt, she drowns, but then you see her there and just so much water goes to her brain that she can barely touch. She's like, hi, buh. So, and he's just standing like, oh yeah, totally fine. And just the contrast of those two was one of the funniest things I ever saw. So yes, he can be very, very funny.
Pacific Productions, thank you for the $5 super chat. Any thoughts on the Nintendo Switch 2?
None. I'm sorry. I know people are pissed at like the pricing of it and stuff like that. I'm just like, I don't even have a one. I had to check with Heather and like people at the con, just like, so what's like the usual price of like a game on the Switch and the Switch? And because I just legit didn't know. So yeah, I'm sorry. I don't have any thoughts.
Will, thank you for the $5 super chat. Do it, Doug. I dare you. Do an NC on the Steve Martin's 2006 film, The Pink Panther.
I don't wanna. Also,
Fair.
I don't know. I don't know if anyone would click on it either if it has that big a following. Yeah, I've never seen it. I never had any interest. I thought the original ones were fine. It never grabbed me.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. What do you think of the new animated Predator anthology trailer?
It's gonna sound weird. I've only seen bits of it, just like in passing, like scrolling through, and sometimes they'll play a little bit of it. The little bit I saw looked cool, but I'll admit I haven't sat down and watched the whole thing yet. I probably should, which is what? It's 2 minutes. I think I could take 2 minutes and watch it.
Nate, thank you for the $5 super chat. Doug, for Nostalgiaween, would you consider reviewing the 2015 Goosebumps movie?
Maybe I put it on the list as a possibility. I don't really get that into Goosebumps. Watching it again was pretty funny. I'm not gonna lie. For what was it? Fox Kids review, but yeah, I just don't have that much interest, so probably not.
James, thank you for the $10 super chat. I kind of love this question. If aliens picked you because of your Nostalgia Critic videos to choose one film to show them that humanity is not worth destroying, what is the one that you pick? I would go with something like Babe.
Man, the humanity's not worth it. I'd have to know about the aliens. I know it sounds weird, but people are different, You gotta know what they lean towards and what's gonna make them feel like, wow, this is something. I don't know, maybe Amadeus. Just because I've never met anyone who didn't like that movie. Everyone can watch it and find something really fascinating about it, and it's funny, it's dramatic, it's dark, it's light, it's a kind of everything. I guess I'd say that. It's got great music as well.
Future movie actor, thank you for the $5 super chat. Be interested in seeing remakes of Black Cauldron, Great Mouse Detective, and Oliver and Company, admittedly. Not sure how profitable they'd be, though.
Black Cauldron, I can see. The other two, Great Mouse Detective. Those characters are pretty likable. Oliver, I could see redoing. Maybe make it a touch more like Oliver Twist. They have a little bit more of it. I mean, it's got a hint of a dark edge, but you could go further with it. But then you have the weird CG cats and everything. Yeah, I don't know. Black Cauldron is the only one I could really see.
Sapphiris, thank you for the $5 super chat. I clocked this question beforehand and it had me stumped for a while. Which gaming mech of the West that didn't originate from Japan do you consider the most iconic?
Iconic. I don't play mech games. I'm sorry.
Yeah, the gaming mech part of it had me be like, oh gosh, I don't know about gaming. Because like if it was just non-Japanese mechs, like I feel like you could make an argument for a couple of like movie ones, but gaming is what really stuck with me. I might have to go with Titanfall. The Titanfall games did great mechs, and I don't think those were Japanese, right? I don't think Titanfall is Japanese. Titanfall 2 is a great game, Doug. Matt, thank you for the $5 super chat. The Marvels was a fun movie. I liked it. It wouldn't have failed nearly as hard if it wasn't for all of the anti-woke political bias against it.
Respectfully disagree, but I will say, I've heard people say, Dan Murrow, who's a very unbiased critic, said he was shocked it was released. He thought it was that unfinished. So I was kind of looking forward to how bad it was going to be. And when I saw it, I'm like, all right, I see what he's talking about, but no more than like a Sony Spider-Man villain movie. Like, yeah, this is just kind of par of the course. There's some things I like in it. I still like Miss Marvel. I think she's great. I like the Singing Planet. I thought that was kind of fun. The actress playing the villain clearly had no character written for her, and she was just throwing 1,000,000% at the screen, just snarling, going, I mean, like, she was trying everything. So no, I would not put it as like one of the worst Marvel movies, but I can see why some would, because it does have a lot of similarities to like the Sony Spider-Man villain movies. So I get it. It wasn't the worst I've seen, but it wasn't for me.
Brady, thank you for the $5 super chat. I've never been in a phone booth. I've never seen my toes. When I'm going to the movies, I take up 7 rows because I'm fat. I'm fat.
I'm fat. Yes, classic song.
Fantastic. Corey, thank you for the $10 super chat. I hope Doug includes DMC by the end of the year. Sorry, I'm going to try to figure this out. I hope Doug includes DMC by the end of year review stuff. Without spoilers, episode 6 is something Doug would probably fawn over in terms of visual storytelling. Does DMC stand for Devil May Cry?
Devil May Cry, I'm assuming. I thought I heard, when they're talking about the game or a show, there's a show now, right?
There's a show now. There is a show now.
I'll try to check it out.
Number -0, thank you for the £5 super chat. How would you do an episode based on British kids' TV shows, even as an American? Recommendations: Count Duckula, The Animals of Farthing Wood, Pingu, etc.
I did grow up with Count Duckula. I was quite obsessed with Count Duckula when I was a kid. No, we've grown up with Danger Mouse, I think, was another one. We had like Nick at Night, and they would show a lot of those, or Nickelodeon as well. I don't know, because the funny thing is watching it, yeah, sometimes you notice, they're walking around buildings that look a little different from American buildings, but, you know, their voices sound a little different, but it wasn't that different. Like, it was very easy to accept I'm just watching a cartoon show that can take place anywhere kind of thing. So I don't know. I swear I must have talked about 1 or 2, but maybe not. Maybe I didn't. I don't know. I don't know how I go about it.
Cody, thank you for the $10 super chat. Hypothetically speaking, let's say you have the power to open a portal to any fictional world of your choosing. Where would you go? Who would you want to be like from that world? Love you both.
I don't know why because it's not even like that far from our world, but just the environment and the impossibility of it and the style and the characters and everything, I would go to Sin City. Just the idea of like just going to this world, everything black and white. You can just run on top of rooftops and jump off and everything. If not that, if I want to go further, probably Batman, Gotham City and stuff like that would be really, really cool. So yeah, a toss up between those two. But again, in real life, probably not, because I would die.
Truth, Hope, Love, thank you for the $10 super chat. When are you reviewing Flow? I want to know what you think, since sometimes you say you want something, but then you get it and then say, well, I didn't want it that way.
I liked it. I thought it was good. I do wish there was... It sounds mean to say I wish there was a little bit more of a budget, but when you see the movie, you'll see why. And they worked well within their limitations. And there's... I still I like it. It's a good movie. There's some things I still don't know what to think about. I could maybe do like a vlog review of it, but now I also feel like it's kind of too late. So I don't know. Maybe I'll do like a members only thing and put like a review. Actually, it's not a bad idea. Maybe I'll do that. I'll write that down.
James, thank you for the $5 super chat. Improv time. You're an old Southern defense attorney who needs to convince a jury of your client's innocence. What do you say?
Get mad. He already had his head off.
Great. Super Droid, thank you for the 500 bits. With the Snow White live action remake bombing at the box office, do either of you think that Disney will finally slow down with the remakes? They already confirmed they've paused on doing the Tangled remake.
I hope so. I mean, but it almost doesn't matter because we're gonna get sequels, and that's always kind of not always. That's not true. Like Inside Out 2 is very good, but yeah, I do miss that innovation. But I will say this: I would rather take sequels that are at least pushing the story forward than going back and say, no, we can do this better, for like an animated classic. So between the two, like when they had the terrible phase of like the direct to DVD sequels and then the remakes, which ones do I like more? I'd say the direct to DVD sequels, because at least they're trying something a little new. They're trying to and one or two of them are good, but not many. They're both of them should stop.
Trip Corey, thank you for the $5 super chat. Any plans to review 2004 Teacher's Pet? Please. Also, you never seen Nathan Lane in the cartoon George and Martha? Has Andrea Martin too?
No, I haven't seen that. I've seen Teachers. I did a Disney December on it. I feel like it got my thoughts out there. I've never seen the show, so the movie was quite the introduction.
Dave, thank you for the $5 super chat. Who do you think is the most interesting serial killer? Please don't call the cops. It's the please don't call the cops that really got me, Dave.
I don't know. I mean, like, I don't want to say... I can't recall going through a phase of like, being into serial killer. I get why people are, certainly. But it is just so depressing.
It
like
is.
The psychological study is very interesting. It's fascinating. But yeah, there's still people that die, and I feel really
True.
bad. And that's not all to say, well, you should be ashamed. But no, I understand. You're understanding that people can do this and why do they do it and what leads to it is fascinating, is intriguing, but yeah, it just depresses me.
Yeah, I know. What kind of crazy person has favorite serial killers? H.H. Holmes and the Zodiac Killer for me.
That was good.
Nate, thank you for the $5 super chat. If you do a versus style review again, can you please do Volcano versus Dante's Peak? Volcano made more money, but Dante's Peak had better critic scores.
I'm not a fan of either. And I don't want to revisit them again, honestly. If I ever did another old versus new, I'd probably do it with the Animaniacs show, the reboot and the original. I think that's the one I would have a passion to do. And even then I've thought about, I'm like, I might just do a Doug Rambles on it, like a vlog. I don't know. But yeah, that's the one I would do.
Will, thank you for the $5 super chat. Oh, goodness. Heather, outside of Pikachu, I wasn't prepared. Who are your top 3 favorite of Ash's Pokemon? Gosh, Ash has had so many Pokemon over the years besides Pikachu. Golly, I don't even know. I always remember Butterfree, but how long did he have Butterfree for? Not very long. I don't know.
It counts.
It counts. It counts. This is sounding terrible. Charmander, maybe? I don't know. He never owned a Gyarados. I know, right, King Croaker? Charizard. Yeah, Charizard for sure. Charmander, Charizard. I'm sorry. I give you two. I wasn't
thought I knew
prepared
you.
and my brain is mush. AOTV, thank you for the $10 super chat. Rank these performances: Jessica Alba, Rise of Silver Surfer, Kristen Dunst, Spider-Man 3, Drew Barrymore, music and lyrics, and Keira Knightley in Pirates 3. Do you need me to run through that again?
No, I never saw music and lyrics, so I'll cross that off. Probably, I'll say Kirsten Dunst in 3. I actually thought she was doing okay. Keira Knightley in Pirates, and then what was the last one again? Or the first one, I should say.
Jessica Alba, Rise of the Silver Surfer.
Yeah, and then her. Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah, there you go. Also, I love that someone in YouTube chat just came in and said, Mario Kart champion Doug Walker.
Thank you. Yeah, wasn't that weird?
Augusto, thank you
I
for
work well with gimmicks.
thank you for the $5 super chat. Hey, Doug, I wanted to say that I hope you can eventually play God of War Ragnarok, as it is a fantastic sequel that I think you'd really enjoy.
Funny you said that.
Funny you said that.
Funny you said that.
Ragnarok may or may not be a choice for the poll tonight. Maggie, thank you for the $5 super chat. In honor of my dog Charlie passing away on Friday. Oh, I'm sorry. Can I get a hi, Charlie? I'm Chaplin, just for a cheer up?
Oh, let's see if I can find him. Give me 1 second.
Okay.
Bring it, buddy. Chaplin.
Chaplin, this is important, please.
He's coming. It's Super Chaplin.
Oh.
What was the line again?
Hi, Charlie. I'm Chaplin.
Hi. Look at the camera. Look at the camera. Hold on. Hi, Charlie. I'm Chaplin. He was so awake for that.
JL, thank you for the 500 bits. Which Mr. Freeze is better, the animated Mr. Freeze or Arnold's Mr. Freeze?
Clearly, Arnold. So much more effort was put into that. No, the animated one.
James, thank you for the $50 super chat. Really appreciate that. Thank you. Thoughts on Lion King deleted scene after Scar becomes king? He attempts to have Nala as his queen, and after she refuses him with the backing of the Pride, he brings the hyenas in with a reprise of Be Prepared while Nala leaves to find Simba.
Excuse me. You know, I remember that scene. I forgot the Be Prepared part. I gotta watch that again. I remember, like, you know, it was fine. It wasn't something where I was like, this was needed in the movie, but it was interesting to see, because the one I remember, I thought it was like fully animated and like had the color and everything. Like, yeah, maybe I'm remembering it wrong. I'll watch it again, but I remember it being fine.
AOTV Productions, thank you for the $10 super chat. I asked you to rank them because they were nominated for Favorite Actress at the Kids' Choice Awards, and Elba won for her performance in Rise of Silver Surfer.
No, there you go. Kids, what can you do?
Movie Mike,
Oh,
thank you.
that's SpongeBob they're watching now.
Thank you for the 500 bits. Have you seen Breakdown? It stars Kurt Russell as a guy who has to save his wife after she is kidnapped by an evil trucker.
No, I heard it's pretty good. Again, that was at a point where kind of like most movies coming out, you just kind of expect it to be bleh, but that was one I remember hearing was actually pretty decent. I should check it out.
JL, thank you for the 1,000 bits. How do you digitize your collection to be viewing and reviews?
I got a few, so it isn't just one. There's a couple different types of software I downloaded. And once, like, I uninstalled one because I'm like, oh, I don't need it anymore. I have this other one, and it didn't work. I guess sometimes programs talk to each other, which is very bizarre. And even then, another one went out, and I had to get another one. So now I'm like, I have something like 3 or 4 different ones that I guess somehow are talking to each other to make it work. So it's odd. And a lot of it's for burning the, Blu-rays that have the films on them.
Ice Luigi Star, thank you for the $5 super chat. This might be a difficult question to ask, but which live-action Disney remake do you consider to be decent or tolerable at best?
I think at some point I might have liked these two. I can't remember, but I kind of went to them eventually. But Cruella and Pete's Dragon are the ones where I'm like, man, I almost like this. There's just a few too many things that they muck up that I feel like they didn't have to muck up, but they are the ones where I'm like, okay, there's huge chunks of this movie where I am legit having a really good time.
James, thank you for the $5 super chat. How I would fix Hop. Think Cronenberg fly body horror mixed with the Santa Claus, a man slowly turning into a rabbit to be the next Easter bunny.
How about we do that in real life with Russell Brand?
Too bad, Waluigi time. Thank you for the £5 super chat. Is it true you were born in Italy? And if so, why is that the case?
Why is that the case? Well, seeing how I had a say in the situation, yeah, no, I was, and my dad was in the Navy, and we just happened to be stationed there for a couple of years. So there you go.
Game Collector, thank you for the $10 super chat. Not a question. I just wanted to say thank you for the cameo that became an intro bit in one of our videos. Thank you. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. You gave to a wonderful cause, so thank you.
AOTV, thank you for the $5 super chat. What do you think of the way Marvel announced the cast for Doomsday with the chairs?
You know, I didn't see it. I just waited for people to tell me. And it sounds like it was good that I did, because it sounds like it just went on forever, apparently. And for a payoff that, in my opinion, I thought was kind of underwhelming. I'm not particularly excited to see them all back. I feel we already did a ton of reunions for X-Men. I want to see new X-Men. But, but that's just me. It depends on what they do with it. They could still do something really cool with it.
Will, thank you for the $5 super chat. Doug, outside of Seinfeld and Third Rock from the Sun, what are your top 3 favorite Wayne Knight performances?
I mean, those are some big ones here. I kind of, I mean, this isn't the best example, but I do kind of like him in Rat Race. I thought it was a little funny. I feel like I gotta look at some more stuff. Oh, the guy from Toy Story 2, he was pretty great. He did a really good job there. On Wayne Knight. I feel like there's like an obvious one. Yeah, Jurassic Park. Oh. He's great. He's a perfect Mitri.
Nate, thank you for the $10 super chat. Part 1. Doug, can I please get your advice for a fan fiction that I'm writing? I'm writing a 5-part book series, and books 1 through 3 have the same villain. Book 4 and 5 have a new villain in each. Part 2 is coming.
All right.
Mike, Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. In Bob's Burger, what do you think of Mr. Fish Odor?
Oh, he's great. I mean, Kevin Kline, whenever he does comedy, particularly like odd comedy, I really, really like. He, especially that strange kind of delivery he has when he just wants to be very articulate. I love that way he speaks, and it's just the perfect character to match that voice, the perfect voice match that character. Yeah, I love it.
James, thank you for the $5 super chat. How I would rank these comedy duos / groups from best to worst. Marx Brothers, Laurel and Hardy, Abbott and Costello, and the Three Stooges. How about you?
Was that worst to best or best to worst?
No, best to worst. They put the Three Stooges at the end.
I mean, Three Stooges is it for me. I was obsessed with Three Stooges. Yeah, Three Stooges. Maybe I'll go Marx Brothers, but it's close with Abbott and Costello. And then was there a fourth one?
Laurel and Hardy.
Oh, Laurel and Hardy. Oh, shoot. Three Stooges, Marx Brothers, Laurel and Hardy, Abbott and Costello. Man, that's rough though. Those are all really good.
Nate, thank you for the $5 super chat. This is part 2. How do I make the villains in book 4 and 5 stand out with less books dedicated to them? Your advice?
I mean, a good relatable backstory where you could just immediately understand where they're coming from is good. But also, same thing with the personality. You have to have a personality where, because I've seen movies and stories where the villains had a good backstory, but the main character, their personality is forgettable. So it has to be something where, I don't know, if you ask them a question, they would say something and be like, man, only that character would say that. You know what I mean? Like, that is so their identity. I don't know if that's the best advice, but something that it can definitely grab people very quickly and you can relate to very quickly. Either way, for the backstory or just who they are. I don't know. That's very helpful. I don't know the story.
Commander of the Sun, thank you for the $10 super chat. What are the chances of seeing another 3 Schmuckheads review?
Unlikely. It's funny, we're talking about Three Stooges a lot. One of the reasons being, I know people are like, another Uwe Boll movie. I find his movies very boring. Everyone has their different bad director that they gravitate towards and want to see more of and have fun making fun of. And in his, I just thought, were so uninteresting. So yeah, not very unlikely.
JL, thank you for the 500 bits. Do you watch movies and shows on tablets when you go away?
Nah, I'll watch videos on my phone sometimes. But that's about it. Yeah, I don't really watch them on tablets.
James, thank you for the $5 super chat. If you could take one film and keep one actor, but the rest are Muppets, what is the film and who are you keeping in the cast as a human?
My friend had a brilliant idea of Muppets Big Lebowski, and everything was exactly the same dialogue, same shot, same everything, except they were all Muppets, and he had the whole cast figured out. Um, and I can't remember who he said the human was. It was something that like didn't matter, you know what I mean? Like maybe the bald detective that comes in near the end, just something that was so small it was kind of inconsequential. But yeah, he every time we said, "What about this character? What about this character?" He had an answer for all of them, and just the more we imagined it, we're like, "This will be pretty funny."
Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. In Lego Movie, what do you think of Liam Neeson as bad cop and good cop?
Oh, I think it's pretty funny. I think it's a good build up to the next Naked Gun movie, honestly.
The Wizard of What, thank you for the $5 super chat. Have you ever considered playing Minecraft for the first time on Twitch? I think you'd have a fun time playing it.
Maybe I'm not really a sandbox guy. I am one of those where I like you have to go do this, complete this mission, complete this task, kind of thing. I don't know, something about it has to be something I really, really love in order to, like, give me a sheet of paper and a pencil. Like, boom, that's a sandbox to me. Like drawing, I love drawing. But a lot of stuff online and in terms of games, I don't usually get into. Maybe like Mario Maker is the closest I'd ever get, but I don't know. Minecraft is still clearly, even with the movie. I mean, it was huge numbers, so it's still a big deal, and I wouldn't mind checking out why that is.
Yeah, I think you could play survival for a couple of weeks,
Could do that.
The Disney Nerd, thank you for the $5 super chat. Good evening, Doug's Guide to the Internet. Have you seen Flow? Watched it yesterday and loved it. It was simple but had beautiful deep themes.
Yeah, I liked it. There are still some things I feel like I'm still figuring out about it, but that's not bad. I like a movie where it doesn't spoon feed everything to you. I did make the mistake of looking up what the director's idea of the ending was. It's not like it's bad or anything, but it's just kind of so simple and basic. I was like, oh, I thought it'd be more. So I'm gonna not look up anything else about it. Just sort of think like in my own brain, like, okay, well, what could be going on here?
JL, thank you for the 500 bits. Nick Jr. face definitely was scary.
I'll have to believe you. I mean, I don't think it was pleasant to look at either, but I can't say it was scary. I don't know. Maybe just again, if I was a little baby and just suddenly my TV was talking to me, maybe I would get freaked out. I don't know.
Loopy Shot, thank you for the $5 super chat. First, that Lara Croft costume in the Toy Story review was hilarious. You're such a good sport. Second, Doug, what do you think of the Shrek 5 trailer?
I mean, they didn't show much. Honestly, I forgot even what was in it until I saw people talking about it. I'm like, because they're like making fun of TikTok memes. I'm like, what? Did they? I went back. I'm like, oh yeah, I guess they did. I mean, no, nothing much. No, nothing I'm angry about, but nothing I'm like excited about either. I don't get the freak out about the redesigns. I did not think they looked that different. I had to see them side by side, with the exception maybe what was it? Donkey looked a little different, but I thought like something happened to him or something. Like he was shocked at what he saw. And Fiona looked a little different. But Shrek, if you didn't tell me they redesigned, I don't even know if I would have noticed. Which is weird. I do like talking about designs and redesigns, and I was just like, when I showed them side by side, okay, I can see it, but that didn't jump out to me. So I don't know. I do not have an extreme reaction, surprisingly.
James, thank you for the $10 super chat. What do you think of the theory that Mary Poppins knows Bert as her attempting to help his family when he was little, and his family is that of the Daws at the bank, but she couldn't help them?
The what at the bank?
It's the Daws, Daws,
Oh, no, does? Duh? Spell it one more time.
Daws. And it's capitalized, so maybe it's a last family name.
Maybe. I'm trying to remember someone named does in the. I mean, we're talking about the first movie.
The bankers,
I'm
the
assuming.
owner of the bank, is what Chad is saying.
Okay. Oh, and that's why That's why they look alike. That's why Dick Van Dyke plays both parts. That's fun. Okay, I think that's a fun theory.
Blonde the Bolt, thank you for the 500 bits. Hey, Doug, what's your favorite Scorsese movie? For me, it's The Irishman. Shutter Island is pretty high up there, too.
Man, I did like The Irishman quite a bit. What would it be? I did really like Hugo. I think that's kind of underrated. It might be Goodfellas. That was the first time I saw that. I just never really saw a movie like that. You know, I saw a couple gangster movies, but just the pacing and the speed and the way they did the storytelling, I was just like, I just never quite saw it done in that style before, and I was so intrigued by it. So I feel like it's got to be that, but yeah, there are a lot of really good ones.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. In the Rocky and Bullwinkle movie, what do you think of Robert De Niro as fearless leader?
Fine. You know, he wasn't. I don't know. He wasn't good. He wasn't bad. He was fine. You know what? I'm gonna change my answer to the last one. I'm gonna say Taxi Driver, because the first time I saw it, I don't think I understood it, and I saw it again years later. I was like, I get it. It's brilliant. It's really great.
JL, thank you for the 500 bits. There's so much content to watch nowadays. How do you maintain all of it?
I don't.
Yeah.
I don't know anyone who does. I mean, I guess it's a good problem. The sad thing about it is that something can come out and be totally fine. It's good, but that's not good enough now.
Yeah.
Like, something has to really, really stand out, and that's a shame. And sometimes I'll even say, look, this is fine. I just don't know if it's enough to survive, or even like, do I really recommend this? Because there's so many things out there that's just constantly trying to get our attention, and wouldn't you want to see something that's, you know, more valuable? So that's rough. I guess it's kind of a good problem, but I do kind of feel bad for the ones that are like, just did it totally fine, and that totally fine sadly isn't enough.
Kashawn, thank you for the $5 super chat. Hi, Doug. Weird question. How would you feel about a Plants vs. Zombies movie?
I've never played it. Again, if you show me a picture, I would recognize it, but I never played the game, so I don't know.
Brett, thank you for the $5 super chat. Could you please explain the OJ joke in the Naked Gun trailer? It's a guy kneeling before OJ refusing to say he misses him. Am I missing something?
Yes, you are. It's supposed to be his son. I don't know if you've kept up on the guy's biography, but some things happened that were let's just say a little controversial. And we'll just stop there.
Alexander, thank you for the 500 bits. What do you think of the desert Walmart scene in Looney Tunes Back in Action? I love when Daffy randomly says, Fresca Mountain Dew, your product name here.
I like that. I think that's where they in there where they bump into Joan Cusack in that scene too, and she's always great. Yeah, I remember liking that scene.
AOTV, thank you for the $5 super chat. Have you watched any of Jamie Kennedy's YouTube videos about what went wrong with Son of the Mask?
A little bit. It was kind of interesting. I was expecting more when he said at the end, there's going to be more. I was like, I don't know. Did I get enough in the first one, though? So I can't remember if I watched the second part. Maybe I should. Because I felt like it was kind of just stretching it out for material. But maybe the second part doesn't. I don't know.
Will, thank you for becoming a member for 9 months in a row. Appreciate that.
Thank
Welcome
you.
back. So, Doug, I majored in film and TV production in college, yet I can't get into many of the films of the European auteurs, Fellini, Bergman, etc. Yet I love all the Fast and the Furious films. Am I uncultured?
You just have a very specific style that you like. No, some of the smartest people in the world, great mathematicians and scientists and stuff, can like, Dumb and Dumber or something like that. I mean, it doesn't, as long as you can see some style or technique to it. I mean, if you're studying this stuff, and I think the idea it's not to have you say, well, you have to like this. I think it's supposed to have you look at different points of view and different styles and different ways people tell a story. And then you can take that and either appreciate it and find what one is your favorite, or utilize it in the way maybe you tell a story or even communicate. So if Fast and Furious is a way that you do that, I mean, what number are they on? Like 12 or whatever? Like, clearly they're doing something right that connects with people. So I don't think there's that anything that wrong with studying them.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. Which villain do you like more, Stella from Hell of a Boss or Adam from Has Been Hotel?
Uh, Adam's pretty funny. Just kind of the dude bro. I just love that idea that the first man is just like a jock. He's like an a-hole jock. I just think that's so funny.
Blonde Adult, thank you for the 500 bits. I think the reason James Woods isn't more appreciated is because while his movies are great, their popularity hasn't kept up, or they, by coincidence, never got a cult following, but most are great. Thoughts?
Maybe so I'll be honest, like I've seen some of his
I was
stuff, but
frozen today.
I'm kind of in the same boat that there was not that many movies that jumped out at me that said you got to see this because James Woods is in it. So I think it's interesting that the one he stands out the most for is right now is probably Hercules. I'm not gonna say that's like his best performance. I'm sure he's done better ones, but people just remember that character and they remember that energy and just that unique spin that only kind of James Woods can bring in that way, in that manner. And I think it was very clever that he said, if you ever need me, I'll always do the voice. I think that is really, really clever because you might be right. People, again, he's not a bad actor, but I don't know if he found that movie or that franchise even that really, really connected with people and lasted for years and years outside of, a Disney film, which is one of the good reasons it's usually good to do an animated kids film, especially with Disney. They seem to last.
I'm a Wet Sailor. Thank you for the 666 bits. Finally got a chance to watch your Lord of the Rings trilogy review. Did you ever question why the troll stabbing Frodo in Fellowship didn't hurt him, but a spider stabbing Frodo paralyzed him? He might need a refund on that mithril vest.
Maybe I'm wrong. I thought when the spider stabs him, it was like up here, where the shirt, because it's kind of an open shirt. But I could be wrong. Maybe that's one of those things that's just a little film flub that I never noticed.
Fish, thank you for the 500 bits. Hey, Doug, any plans to review Never Cry Wolf or Condor Man this Disney summer? They both came out in the early 80s when Disney didn't quite know what they wanted to do, and boy, does it show.
Never Cry Wolf. I don't know that one. Never Cry Wolf movie. I'd never even heard of this one. Okay. Maybe I'll look there. Looks odd. And then Condor Man, I never did see either. I remember seeing ads for it. I was like, what the hell is this? So maybe might check them out.
Chase, thank you for the $5 super chat. Toy Story 2 needs a review. It expanded the world, evolved the characters, and deepened the emotions. Jessie's backstory song revealed her outgrown life, and this is part 1 of 2.
Okay. I probably will. At the very least, I'll do 2 because I really did. That's my personal favorite out of them.
Nate, thank you for the $5 super chat. Would you do a Night at the Museum review? That movie is almost 20 years old. I saw that movie in elementary school. I feel old now.
I probably should. That's another one. Like, it's fine. I like it. It's a great idea. I don't think it ever quite really grabbed me and said, "Hey, always come back and return to this." But I remember seeing it and liking it fine. So, yeah, maybe I will.
Jace, thank you for the $5 super chat. Then Prospector gives a sad speech on how long Woody's time with Andy will last, leading to Pixar discovering their identity emotional storytelling.
I agree, and I think that's a great. You're right, because that was the third movie they did, and that's where they were really like, let's up the ante here. Because they definitely didn't do that in A Bug's Life. And that's kind of where it really, really started. They're like, yeah, let's really experiment with these really heavier, more adult moments. So yeah, no, I'll probably do 2 because, like I said, it is my personal favorite.
Spawn Freak, thank you for the $5 super chat. Hi, Doug and Heather. Would Newsies, with its corny Brooklyn street kid stereotypes, have been more well received in the 60s rather than the 90s? I don't know what you're talking about. Newsies is a classic of cinema that everyone adores. It introduced me to Christian Bale, so it's very important to me personally.
I think you're right, actually. I think it would have maybe even 70s, maybe. Honestly, any time period except the 80s. Or no, wait, it was 89, right? I think when it came out.
Was it? I thought it was the 90s.
It was 90. Well, was it 90? It could have been, but any time before the 80s. I would say it probably wouldn't work. But again, I always said it should have been a Broadway show. It is a Broadway show now.
It
If people
is.
say it's spectacular,
It's
I
a
believe
great
them.
show on Broadway.
Yeah, like that's where I feel like it really does belong, and I'm glad it did get there.
Indifference, thank you for the $5 super chat. Doug, have you seen Lazarus on Adult Swim? It's new, but it's made by the same guy who made Cowboy Bebop and Samurai Champloo. Really?
Ooh, okay. How do you spell it?
Lazarus. Lazarus. Lazarus.
Lazarus show. Huh. Look at that. Yeah, it really does look like Cowboy Bebop. All right. Huh. I've never heard of this. I really want to check it out because I love both those shows.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. Heather, what do you think of Debbie from Invincible? I feel like in the first two, like maybe the first season and a half, she's just kind of there. I've been really intrigued with her storyline in this third season here with I mean, I don't want to spoil in case people haven't seen it, but they give her a lot more to do and to grapple with and like kind of show in another way how she raised Mark to be the way he is. So I think she's a lot more interesting this season to me than she has been in the past, for sure.
That
JL?
makes me want to see it more because actually I did. That's the mother, right?
Yeah, Debbie's the mother.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I actually did like her in the first season. So knowing that now, I'm like, ooh, actually, I want to see it even more now.
JL, thank you for the 500 bits. What's your favorite episode from The King of Queens?
Terrible confession. I've only seen one, and actually, it was pretty funny. It was an episode. I was on a cruise ship once, and it was storming for a few days, so we didn't really do much outside. So, like, they would just play like the same few episodes of shows over and over. And they played the King of Queens episode where they're taking his father for a walk, to get him out of the house. And he realizes he's basically the dog. They take him to a dog park, and they're like, don't you realize what you are? Don't you realize what they're doing? Just the shots they give him, like turning and seeing the different dogs there. It's so dramatic that it just really made me laugh.
Will, thank you for the $5 super chat. Which Oscar-winning performance do you enjoy more? Ke Huy Quan from Everything Everywhere All at Once or Robert Downey Jr. from Oppenheimer?
God, they're so different. Maybe Quan, because I kind of had more questions about his motivation. I was invested in him a little bit more, which is not to say I wasn't with Downey Jr., but you kind of seen that kind of performance from him before, and he does it great. He did that wonderfully, but I think Juan, I was like, oh, like this is kind of new territory for him, and even the movie was kind of new territory, so that was pretty exciting.
JL, thank you for the 500 bits. What's your favorite DC animated show that you have watched so far?
Probably Batman the Animated Series. Yeah, big surprise.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. Heather, in the 3 seasons of Invincible we have gotten, what do you think of Nolan's development? I love where they've gone with Nolan's development. Like, this isn't a terrible spoiler, but like season 3, hearing him say, like, I think I miss my wife was like wild. Like, oh my gosh, look at this man, look at this development. Let's do this. It's been interesting to see for sure.
I gotta catch up. I've been hearing it's pretty good.
Will, thank you for the $5 super chat. Who was your favorite anti-hero and why? Tony Soprano or Walter White?
Oh, Tony Soprano by far. I've said this before, and I know it's the idea. I don't like Walter White, and I know you're not supposed to, but I don't think it's a fascinating character study, but I feel like I got it in episode 1. You know what I mean? Like, and the whole show is around it, and it's done well. Hell, it's done brilliantly, but I just feel like I got it right away. So it didn't intrigue me that much. It really wasn't until Michael, Saul, and Gus got into the picture that I'm like, ooh, like what's gonna happen now? Yeah, and again, I'm not saying it like it's bad. It's not. It's fantastic. I think it did its job a little too well.
The Masked Nerd, thank you for the $5 super chat. I'm at the Minecraft movie. There's popcorn everywhere. Why? No, I am not joking. Why?
That used to be what movie theater floors used to look like all the time. They used to not be as good at cleaning them up, but they've gotten a lot better.
JL, thank you for the 500 bits. What movies do you still own on VHS tape?
Lots, actually. Anyone that I know has a questionable scene in it that I know on streaming they would edit out or change, I definitely hold on to those.
Oh.
So I have like the original Roger Rabbit where when Jessica flies out of the car and you see a little too much. The Little Mermaid with the castle on there. So yeah, and anything like that. But I also just hold on to a bunch because I like holding on to them. They have nice memories and stuff like that. But there's maybe like 2 or 3 cabinets of them. I don't have like a huge collection, but yeah, I do have a couple.
Sean49, thank you for the 500 bits. Hey, Doug, I've heard you're a fan of the group Genesis. Do you have a favorite song from each era? Peter Gabriel, Phil Collins, and the short-lived Ray Wilson era. Fun fact, Super's Ready from Gabriel's time is over 20 minutes long. Or Supper's Ready.
Yeah, you're gonna be really disappointed. I like Genesis fine. I'm not a super fan. Like they're fine. I shouldn't say that. They're a good group. They're very good. If you were to ask me, name one song from Genesis, I couldn't. Yeah, I could hear the sound of Genesis, and I know that sound. I know the instruments and everything, and I like the sound of it. I like Phil Collins in there certainly. But I'm not like a super fan. I think Rob liked it more than me. Maybe that's what you're thinking of.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. Heather, in my adventures with Superman, what do you think of Brainiac? I think it was an interesting take on the character. It wasn't exactly where I thought they were going to be going with it, but it's always nice when you can expand and have a different take on someone that you think everyone knows. So I enjoyed it. Brady, thank you for the $5 super chat. I once heard a rumor that the Give Me Rent guy from Spider-Man 2 was going to be revealed as a retired Kraven the Hunter. What do you think?
Odd. just odd.
Matt, thank you for the $10 super chat. Evening, Doug and Heather. Have you or Rob or anyone at Channel Awesome seen Amazon Prime's Reacher? Not the Tom Cruise movies, the streaming service. No, but my dad's obsessed.
I've been hearing a lot of that. Everybody's dad is really obsessed. I haven't seen it. I've heard good things. I've heard it's good.
Future movie actor, thank you for the $5 super chat. Would you ever do a Hunger Games month? Or will you do a catch-all review for however many movies there are by the time you'll eventually get to it?
I probably should, because that really was a big deal when they came out. Yeah, might be an idea.
That was my computer, not yours, chat. Sorry about that. JL, thank you for the 500 bits. Oh, and Venom Wi-Fi, thank you for the £2 super chat. Do you own any movies on VHS still to this very day?
Yeah, quite a bit. I mean, maybe if I had to guess, if I had to count them, well, including ones I just copy movies, whatever, off the VCR or something like that, or on TV, maybe 50, something like that. So it's not huge, but I guess you wouldn't say it's small either. Probably more than the average person has.
Venom Wi-Fi, thank you for the £10 super chat. What are your thoughts on Once Upon a Time? Sorry, I said that weird.
I've never seen it. Rob has, and he says there's some stuff I would really like in there. Yep. He does say it's a show that jumps the shark big time.
So hard.
Which sometimes is a little fun, but other times is so painful. The one I really want to see is the one with the psychotic Peter Pan. The way he was describing what happens in there, I'm like, what? This sounds bonkers. So I do kind of really want to see that one. At some point, I don't know, I'll sit down and watch him.
All right, I'm going to start this poll here on both YouTube and Twitch. We're about to vote for the next game for Doug to play on Fridays. Here are your choices, chats. Until Dawn, since the movie is happening very soon. Until Dawn, God of War Ragnarok, Resident Evil 2, which will be Doug's first ever Resident Evil game if it does win, or Uncharted, to scratch that Indiana Jones itch. So I am starting those right now in the chats. They'll be up for about 10 minutes.
And all these games I have never played.
Correct.
So I don't know what happens in them or anything.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Headshot, thank you for the $5 super chat. In honor of the 30th anniversary of a Goofy movie, Bill Farmer and Jason Marsden rode the car from the movie and talked fun facts. Can you do a Goofy yell?
Hold on. Can I? I did see that. I thought that was pretty cool.
Jace, thank you for the $5 super chat. I figured it out. A Stephen King film normally comes out on my birthday. Not t- but to what? But to not be in competition with Minecraft, The Monkey was released in February.
Ah, okay. It's a conspiracy. Well, sounds like they made the right choice because, yeah, Minecraft did pretty good.
Nate, thank you for the $5 super chat. A kid's cartoon that really didn't age well is Little Bill, which is about Bill Cosby growing up. Insert joke here.
As opposed to inserting it somewhere else. Okay.
Oh,
Next one. Sorry.
Doug, please.
They said insert joke. I mean, I'm just doing what they demand.
Shouting Joker, thank you for the 500 bits. What's a movie or TV show that you both of you really liked but will never watch again because it either being too disturbing, depressing, or it being way too much to handle? For me, it was the first 2 seasons of Euphoria and The Substance. Oh, Euphoria is a great choice because that's a fantastic series, but I don't know if I could ever watch that again.
There's some episodes where I'm just like, woof. Yeah, really rough. For me, it's a movie called Happiness. I've only seen it once. It's brilliant. It's a very good movie. It is probably the most disturbing, uncomfortable sit I've ever had in a movie. And it's not because, like, gore or anything like that. It's just the subject matter and the way they handle it. And it is so disturbing. I mean, chillingly disturbing. But it is very well done. So it's kind of up to you if you're just like, yeah, I want to challenge myself and see that movie, fair, but it's quite a bit. And again, it's not, they don't show anything, not that I remember. It's just the subject matter.
KP Kruk, thank you for the 500 bits. Are there any plans to see The Chosen: The Last Supper on the big screen before it becomes available for streaming? I have seen that its box office performance came close to beating out Snow White. Also, do you think recent faith-based films have stepped up their game, doing better than what pure flicks came out in the past?
So I haven't seen a ton of them. I will say whenever I've seen a trailer for a lot of them, they do seem better. They seem like they're trying to tell a good story and not just push something, which I mean, I push some kind of agenda or whatever, which I mean, you can have a lean, you can have whatever, just tell a good story to just get people invested for the right reasons. But again, I'd be lying if I said I've seen a ton of them, but it seems like that way, but I shouldn't talk because I've only seen a couple. And in terms of seeing The Last Supper on the big screen, probably not because we're not caught up all the way with season 4. But also, I don't know if it looks nice. I don't know if I need to see it on the big screen.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. In Star versus the Forces of Evil, what do you think of Toffee?
Is that the guy in the business suit, right? Let me double check. Let's see. Star Toffee. Yeah, that's him. I loved when it looked like he was going to be the main villain, and then they just yanked that, and he was gone. I thought that was a real letdown. But when he was, I thought it was pretty cool.
Future movie actor, thank you for the $5 super chat. I don't think Snow White 2025 was perfect. I liked it though, and I thought Rachel Zegler was great in it as well. Waiting on a Wish is great too.
That parts of that one I kind of remember, and then I do actually remember the song Princess Problems. I actually do. Like, I wasn't humming it leaving, but it's like, okay, I do remember that one at least, where the rest kind of, they sounded nice, but they kind of just were a bit generic. I'm not shocked if somebody likes that movie. It's not one of those where it's so terrible. How could anyone yada yada? It's like, no, the same thing with the Minecraft movie. Like, there's a lot of kids that like it. It's like, all right, I see it. Yeah, it didn't do anything for me, but yeah, I could see how someone could like it fine.
JL, thank you for the 500 bits. Speaking of Disney Channel original movies for Disney-cember, check out Horse Sense and Jumping Ship.
Okay, I haven't even heard of them. I'll try to check them out.
James, thank you for the $20 super chat. Rewatched Saving Mr. Banks, and I hated it. It wants you to feel for her and make Walt a bad guy, have lines from the film for her childhood, and a joke at Robert Sherman, how he probably deserved to be shot. He fought in the war.
I'd have to see a lot of that again. What I saw was actually quite the opposite. I saw they're trying to make her look bad, but show there's a humanity to it, and Disney look more like the hero at the end. I really don't like what they did at the end with the crying and how they tried to frame that. Because it is true, she cried during the movie, and she said it was for the reason that she says in the movie, but that's not how they were framing it. I thought that was a little devious, but I still liked it. I thought it worked okay. But there's issues with it. There's definitely problems with it.
James, thank you for the $10 super chat. In case you didn't know, the shows Thundercats and Silverhawks were both created by the studio Rankin Bass, so that can probably explain the limited animation during the show compared to the intro.
It was Rankin Bass, wasn't it? I never put like when you said that, I saw the logo pop up at the end. I'm like, yeah, boy, it was. They just had those great anime openings. Boy, that really makes sense. And I love those shows. Yeah, I mean, they're great 80s cheese. I'm not gonna say like they're anything great, but I had a great time with them. Yeah, that does kind of explain a lot, actually.
Chats, don't forget that if you are voting in the poll for Doug's next game, to vote above the chats. Don't just type it in chat what you want. You have to click on the buttons above the chat there at the top, okay? All right, just saying. MR Toast, thank you for the £5 super chat. Hey Doug, been watching you since I was 12 and now I'm 30. I feel so old. Also, the new Universal Classic Monster Ride at Epic Universe kicks ass, but don't demonetize YouTube.
Yeah, you feel old. How do you think I feel? No, I've been hearing a lot of things at that Universal Park like it's lived up to the hype from what I'm hearing. And maybe someone might have something to say about it in the future. It's not me, but somebody might. Just keep watching. Keep watching.
Peter, thank you for the $5 super chat. Inspired by today's NC, what was your go-to computer game pre-2000s? I'm talking Minesweeper, Solitaire, etc.
Oh, like a little desktop game? I don't know if I really had a desktop game. We liked the LucasArts point and click adventures like Full Throttle and Monkey Island. We really got to that. There was an Indiana Jones one in there, Day of the Tentacle. We really liked those a great deal.
What was the skiing one? Ski Free? Is that what was on y'all know what I'm talking about. The little desktop game? Maybe you don't. Never mind. Don't worry about it. Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. What do you think of James Rolfe's favorite movie, It's a Mad, Mad, Mad World?
Oh, I like it a great deal. It is one of those movies where I will admit I like that it's that long. I think it's cool that there's a comedy that long. It probably doesn't need to be there. Every time I watch it, I am like, yeah, that could be trimmed. Yeah, that could be cut down, everything. But I do like epic comedies. I like movies that say, you know what? We can be funny for this long an amount of time. And I just got to give them credit for that. But yeah, I love the slapstick of it. Just the initial idea is great. It lives up to the title. So yeah, no, I enjoy it quite a bit.
Chase, thank you for the $5 super chat. Thoughts on not just a goof trailer. Not only is it sinking in the film released weekend of my birthday, but my bro sold me his car, no joke, named Roxanne.
Roxanne. I'm halfway through it. I think I actually did start putting in screw the trailer. I'll talk about the movie. I'm halfway through. Most of it I really like. Every once in a while it kind of pats itself a little too much on the back, but I like when it's being very real and very genuine. And I like they show what some of these directors have to do to get around some stupid recommendations that maybe the studio has. Like they represent Katzenberg in a very honest way here. They show the good and they show the bad as well. And the way they get around this issue where he said he wants Steve Martin to voice Goofy, which is very clearly a bad idea, was very, very clever the way they worked with it. And I think a lot of people in Hollywood sadly have to work that way. And it's good to show there are ways you can do this. You just have to be really creative. So yeah, no, for the most part, I'm enjoying it.
Okay, so we have had something happen for the first time that has never happened. YouTube and Twitch do not agree on the poll, which I think we're supposed to run the poll one more time. So at a different location, I don't know. I'll talk to Waveflow about it. But on Twitch, Uncharted won. But on YouTube, Resident Evil 2 won.
Huh.
Mm-hmm.
Huh. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, maybe we'll do the poll again with just those two? Maybe?
Well, I think Waveflow was planning on posting it somewhere else, so maybe we'll just see
Gotcha.
where that
Okay, we'll
third
just add
the
everything up.
third answer is, and then we'll go from there. I
It's
think.
gonna be Ragnarok. But cool. But thank you all so much for voting on that, definitely, and we will keep you posted.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Will, thank you for the $5 super chat. Doug, since a Goofy movie turns 30, I recommend you check out the Disney Plus documentary, Not Just Another Goof. It's actually really good.
Yeah, I'm about halfway through it. I am enjoying it quite a bit.
JL, thank you for the 600 bits. Speaking of Goosebumps, which episode did you like the most when you did the rewatch?
The sponge one, that was really, that was so ridiculous. I loved it.
Tony, thank you for the $5 super chat. What's a movie you would want a sequel to that you know that most people wouldn't want? For me, it would be Mr. Mom, titled Mr. Grandma, just because.
Boy, I don't know. There was a video I did a long time ago about Disney sequels we actually want, and Inside Out was one of them, so I'm glad we got that. I'm trying to think what one of the other ones were. It's gonna sound weird. I kind of thought, like, maybe just for a little, like, Disney Plus movie or a straight to video, whatever at the time. I think another Robin Hood would be interesting in that world, just to see, like, what would happen afterwards, after they get married, live happily ever after, which again usually doesn't sound interesting. I know it's one and done and that's the idea, but like the characters are a lot of fun. I love to see Prince John and his come back and the sheriff. That could be the same mentality that got us all these terrible sequels. I mean, it probably is, but I don't know. Those characters are pretty fun.
Venom Wi-Fi, thank you for the £5 super chat. I think maybe they didn't know that we get behind because they said, again, what are your thoughts on the fantasy TV show called Once Upon a Time?
Heard my thoughts before.
Magic Window, thank you for the $5 super chat. What was the first movie you ever watched that you realized was awful?
Man, I know this isn't the first one, but the first time I really looked forward to a movie and was let down by, like, whoa, that was a letdown, was probably the Super Mario Brothers movie. And nowadays, I've actually learned to really appreciate it for just how bonkers awful it is. I have a really good time with it. But yeah, I don't know. I'd have to really go back and try to think about what's one where I just was like, yeah, no, that is bad. If I'm going back really far, I'm sure it's something because, I'm an 80s boy, so I'm just anything girlier as pink. Ew. It's probably something stupid like that. It could have been totally fine. But yeah, in terms of something that I just remember being really, really disappointed in, that was definitely the Super Mario Brothers movie.
Mustard Man, thank you for the 500 bits. What do you guys make of Sony's decision to release 4 theatrical Beatles movies all in April of 2028? If nothing else, gotta respect the risk in taking such a gamble. Yeah,
that's great. Are they all on the big screen? They're releasing them on the big screen?
I believe so.
Huh. Interesting. I guess I'll have to see the trailer and what they have in mind with it. Yeah, I guess I gotta wait and see. It's ambitious. I like how ambitious it is.
Nate, thank you for the $5 super chat. Best satire of It's a Wonderful Life I'd recommend is the Johnny Bravo version, which had a hilarious punchline. Life is better without him.
Yeah, when I I did a parody a long time ago with the NC. I think it's called like You're a Rotten Dirty Bastard, something like that. Something like that. Man, excuse me. And I think at the time I didn't see anything that had that showed with the life of them is actually better without him. And I think somebody did point out there's a Johnny Bravo episode that did. It's like, okay, fair. I just didn't see it.
Treg, thank you for the 500 bits. What is it about Rick and Morty that you enjoy? For me, it's the Dan Harmonisms, where they take a familiar setup and give it almost a Charlie Kaufman-like sense of meta-ness to explore the dysfunctions of its characters and play with tropes and ideas.
Boy, you put it better than I could ever put it. I mean, on the money and beautifully said. That's it.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. Heather, now that some time has passed since you finished season 3 of Vox Machina, I was wondering in season 2 and 3, what are your overall thoughts on the Chroma Conclave arc? I mean, I still liked the first story with the Briar Woods better. However, I understand why they had to put it across 2 seasons because it's a whole conclave of dragons. It's multiple dragons. Although I don't remember anyone else besides Thordak and Rayshawn. Like, I know there's 5 of them total? There's 4? I don't even know how many there are. I only remember Rayshawn and Thordak, and there was like one other one that I vaguely remember. So it feels like if you were going to take 2 seasons to really hype up these dragons, I should remember more than just 2 of them. But maybe that's just me. Brady, thank you for the $5 super chat. Been writing my book. I'm on chapter 4 and at 6,500 words so far. Congratulations.
Cool. Keep going.
Liv, thank you for the 500 bits. Not necessarily a game recommendation because YouTube would probably not allow it, but I highly recommend you check out Conker's Bad Fur Day. It has a cutesy Warner Bros. Kitty platformer exterior, but in reality, it's everything but. It opens parroting one of your favorite films. Not going to say the movie, though.
All right. Maybe I'll try to check it out someday.
JL, thank you for the 500 bits. How do you organize your video collection?
Out of order. I'll say this: I put the Christmas movies and the Halloween movies together because I know I'm going to return to those a lot, so I try to keep them in the same place. And I tell you about, I do have a whole shelf that's just dedicated to DVDs and also TV shows. But that's about it. Everything else pretty random.
We are going to have to pick up the pace here.
Gotcha.
Liv, thank you for the 500 bits. I know you couldn't get into the first episode, but I implore you, please watch Common Side Effects. It's one of Adult Swim's best.
I'll give it another shot.
Number Negative, thank you for the £5 super chat. Just to follow up on my point in my last question, Animals of Farthing Wood is dark, like super dark. Doug, you'd love it.
I've heard it's very, very dark. I think I've seen bits and pieces of it before.
Matt, thank you for the $10 super chat. I need Diablo sandwich and Dr. Pepper, and I need it fast because I'm in a gosh darn hurry. What movie? And finish the line if you know it. I had to change it because YouTube.
Don't know it, and I can't.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. In the Spider-Man games, who do you think gives a better performance? Yuri Lowenthal as Peter or Najee Jeter as Miles?
Probably Peter.
Channel Box, thank you for the $5 super chat. Hey Doug, not sure if you remember my God character, but I just realized they're kind of like Lovecraft because they represent my fear of war.
Maybe. Could be.
Daniel, thank you for the $5 super chat. Any chance of reviewing Twisted, the untold story of a royal vizier?
I've seen bits of it, and it was pretty funny. I've never seen the whole thing. I don't know if I'll review it, but I should sit down and watch the whole thing.
JL, thank you for the 500 bits. Ash had Butterfree up till the Indigo League. Yes. Nicholas, thank you for the $5 super chat. Can each of you think of at least one bad movie you thought had a really good tagline?
Let's see. The Coast is Toast. I thought that was pretty funny from Volcano.
Jace, thank you for the $5 super chat. Megan 2.0 trailer didn't grab you? It's literally Terminator 2 setting up the world for Alita Battle Angel. Have Malcolm replace you in Tropic Thunder review.
Yeah, it's just, it looks like fun. I'm sure it'll be campy fun. That's just not what I was looking for a sequel to that. One other one, in Godzilla, I like Size Does Matter. I thought that was pretty funny.
JL, thank you for the 600 bits. Will you do a review of the gold bags for Disney-cember since it takes place in the 90s?
Oh, the Goldbergs. I haven't seen it. I gotta check it out.
Channel Box, thank you for the $5 super chat. Hi, Doug. I'm not sure if you remember my God character. Oh, I think they just did it twice there.
Did it again?
Treg, thank you for the 500 bits. Do you have any opinions on director Jacques Tati? Personally, I love his films, but I can see why people may not get into his work.
How do you spell it?
JACQUE space TATI.
I don't know if I know these movies. Yeah, I am not familiar with them. I'm so sorry.
Oh, bro, thank you for the $5 super chat. Instead of live action remakes of animated movies, Disney should make animated remakes of live action movies. Would love to see an animated Pirates.
That'd be kind of fun, actually. Yeah, it'd be interesting.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. And Bob's Burgers, what do you think of Mr. Fischoder's brother, Felix?
He's okay. He's fine. I like a lot of the other insecure characters.
Channel Box, thank you for the $10 super chat. I think maybe they just didn't know that we get behind because it's once again about their god character
Gotcha.
representing Lovecraft because their fear of war. Made a lot of stories about his fears.
Gotcha.
Future movie actor, thank you for the $5 super chat. Your dad ever had to deal with Barney the dinosaur flack from you when you were a little kid like you had with the Doug Funny flack from that time too?
No, because we were too old, I think, to do it. Every once in a while we'd be like, oh, Barney the dinosaur, but like that was about it. Not much.
Sean, thank you for the $5 super chat. Have you seen / heard of the Hollywood Nights with Michelle Pfeiffer and Tony Danza? If not, Brad would be shaming you as it's one of his favorites.
I remember hearing about it from him, but I haven't seen it yet. I gotta check it out.
The fifth Chris, thank you for the $5 super chat. Hey Doug, this question has plagued my mind for years. Who played Zach the Lego Psycho / Maniac in your first commercials video?
That's a friend named Jay. I haven't seen him in a long time, but he already had a huge Lego collection. Like he put stuff together all the time, so we're just like, oh, let's just use him. He's perfect.
Tony, thank you for the $10 super chat. Doug, Heather, hope you've both had a great night. Indiana Jones and the Great Circle is coming to PlayStation 5 later this month, and I'm curious, would you consider playing it on stream? Oh, we wish. Doug wants nothing more than to play it, but we're going to have to really look into how people do that on YouTube because there's a lot of stuff that YouTube censors on it.
Yep.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. In the Third Rock finale, what do you think of the scene where Mary and Dick say goodbye?
I like the extended one where they show him come back. I thought that was funnier and more in keeping. It's like, what? She's gonna talk about this guy, and nobody's gonna know what she's talking about. I mean, it's like, I don't know. It seemed kind of silly.
Kyle, thank you for the $5 super chat. How do you feel about the Avengers movie ripping off Kick-Assia?
Did it? I mean, I'm so insulted.
JL, thank you for the 500 bits. What was your very first iPod?
Oh, I can't remember. I mean, maybe like whatever version 2 was or something like that.
I won an iPod Touch right before I moved to Japan, and that was the first and only iPod I ever had. Shouting Joker, thank you for the 500 bits. If you analyze it closely, Jessica Jones is like a much better put-together version of Drop Dead Fred, since Kilgrave kind of reminds me of Fred if he was actually menacing.
A little bit more of a demented version, but I guess I could see it a touch.
Peter, thank you for the $5 super chat. Hey, Doug, do you think you'll do a review on The Borrowers from 1998? Tom Felton plays the boy, so you can get a couple of Draco Malfoy jokes in there.
I mean, I always have it on the list. If I do, it'd be like in January where I know if it bombs, it's not a big deal.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. Fun fact about Toy Story, in the scene where Woody does a puppet show with Buzz's arm, all of the dialogue was made up by Tom Hanks. There was also parts they didn't use where he was reading Buzz's palm or Buzz was giving him a back rub.
That's pretty funny.
Sean, thank you for the $5 super chat. Thoughts on the Pink Panther cartoon / character? I love the pink flink, in which he and a painter battle between painting a house pink and blue.
I remember that. Yeah, they're surprisingly okay for what they are.
Peter, thank you for the $5 super chat. In a Space Jam / WFRR world, who would be the worst to do an NC collab video with? Donald Duck, the Animaniacs, or Freakazoid?
Probably Donald Duck, because we just wouldn't be able to understand what he's saying.
JL, thank you for the 500 bits. What's your thoughts on the new South Park trailer?
I mean, funny. I'm curious to see what they do with the plane stuff. That's the one where I'm just like, ooh, what ideas do they have with that? I'm really curious.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. Which version of The Last of Us do you think did the scene where Joel experiences the beginning of the outbreak better? The game or the show?
Oh, man, they're so different. They both have good fake out, surprisingly. Yeah. Man, I don't know. Maybe I don't know.
I'd go with the game, but that's just me.
Just a little bit because you can play it, but yeah, it's very, very close.
James, thank you for the $10 super chat. If you want to own the original versions of the original trilogy of Star Wars, there's the despecialized edition done by Harmy, who Disney knows has done and even hired, and this is part 1 of 2.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Sean, thank you for the $10 super chat. If you have time, Guns of Navarone, which I asked you about months ago, is on Netflix with Gregory Peck. I was really surprised when you said you never even heard of it since it's considered a classic.
All right, I'll try to check it out. I love Gregory Peck.
Cute Mario Bros, thank you for the $2 super chat. JL, thank you for the 500 bits. Which Family Guy season is your favorite?
I like when they came back. What was that, season 3, something like that? I remember really digging that one.
Chase, thank you for the $5 super chat. Heard of Stressed Eric? Imagine Charlie Brown grew up to have Eek the Cat's bad luck, everyone and everything stressing him till a head vein strangles him.
Yeah, I can't remember. Like, I remember hearing that before. Let me just see. Stressed Eric. Yeah, I want to say I've seen like a little bit of it. I remember liking it. Okay. Yeah, and there it is. The vein choking him.
Nicholas, thank you for the $5 super chat. Hey, Doug, have you seen the Alto Knights? If so, what'd you think?
No, I heard it's awful.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. And Hell of a Boss, what do you think of Stella's brother and Androlphus? Andrelphus, sorry.
Boy, I'm
Andrealphus.
Oh, that guy. That's right. Fine. He's not like my favorite villain or anything, but he gets some cool animation out of him with the freezing effects.
Oh, bro, thank you for the $5 super chat. Are you excited for Universal's Epic Universe? I've been seeing some previews and they look amazing. Excited for Monsters Unchained.
I've been hearing great stuff. That's the one I'm looking the most forward to, is the monster stuff. Yeah, I've been hearing great things about it.
JL, thank you for the 500 bits. What do you think of the new title for Spider-Man Brand New Day, which I thought when the comic came out, people hated it?
You're. Is that what it was called? What's the one where they take away the days, the episode, the comic everybody hate? I thought it was like One More Day or something like that.
I'm not sure, to be honest.
But I actually thought it was kind of clever because then they don't have to keep to home every single time and seeing what happened the last one. It's like, okay, it is a brand new day. Here we go. Like, we're starting over again. So I thought it was kind of clever.
Sean, thank you for the $5 super chat. Who or what is on your shirt?
Oh, that's the lady from Sleepaway Camp. Yeah, wasn't that nice of me? That wouldn't do at all. I think, was it Dragon's Toy that got me this shirt? Yeah, and I just love that character. I love that movie. So yeah, it's also saying I need to do laundry because it's the shirt I wear when I need to do laundry.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. Which Jeremy Jordan character do you like more, Varian from Tangled or Lucifer from Has Been Hotel?
Yeah, Lucifer's pretty cool. I know he doesn't have much to do, but when he does it, it's pretty awesome.
Also, Dragon's Toy has confirmed it was her.
Yes, thank you again.
James, thank you for the $10 super chat. This is part 2 of 2. The versions can be downloaded or bought on disc. I recommend going to Showtown Apparel, all 3 for $80 on Blu-ray with all the bonus features across 2 bonus discs for each.
Maybe one day I'll do that. It'd be good to own.
JL, thank you for the 500 bits. Did you ever read the Brand New Day Spider-Man comic?
I think by the fact that I said, did they make a comic out of that? No.
Sean, thank you for the $5 super chat. When you started voicing Chaplin when you first appeared, I would think of your impression as Bill Skarsgård Pennywise.
Really? Okay. I always thought it was a more excited version of the Michael Bay voice I did. I don't know. That's just always the personality he gave. Also, that was the voice we gave him.
James, thank you for the $5 super chat. Sorry for so long between the 2 parts. I found out YouTube doesn't like the B-U-Y word. Buy? What?
I don't know.
I did not know that. Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. In Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio, which villain do you like more, Christoph Waltz or Ron Perlman?
Probably Waltz by a little bit. I mean, but they're both great actors who play great villains.
Crass, thank you for the $2 super chat. Kyle, thank you for the $5 super chat. Hi, Doug. What do you think of Agent Everett Ross from the Black Panther?
Boy, I'd have to go back and watch it. It's been years since I was a teen when I saw that movie, so I think I have to go back and watch it again.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. Heather, without going into spoilers, in Invincible Season 2, what do you think of the scene where Nolan and Mark reunite? I was not expecting that at all. It was cool. It was different. Or I shouldn't even say different, but it was good. I liked it a lot. JL, thank you for the 500 bits. How many Spider-Man comics do you own?
Oh, personally? Well, Rob was the Spider-Man collector, and I think he left a lot of the comics here with me. So maybe like 15, 20, something like that.
Crass, thank you for the $5 super chat. Me and some friends have been watching this 80s cartoon, Cops in a Server. It's really funny in the best way. Do you remember it at all?
I do. I remember the opening of it, which is pretty cool. It had a little bit of that cool, like the helicopter behind them and showing the badge and everything. I remember that show being a little fun for the silly show that it was.
Crass, thank you for the $5 super chat. Do you remember watching Magic School Bus ever? You were 13 when it first debuted, probably a little too old, but I digress.
I did not watch the show, but I did read the book because it was based on a book, and I did see several of those when I was a kid because I was the right age for that.
James, thank you for the $5 super chat. Heather, I wanted to tell you I'm nearing the end of my first magical girl anime called Revolutionary Girl Utana. I'm on episode 27 of 39 episodes and a film. Oh, underrated. I read that manga when I was younger. Love that. Hope you enjoy it. Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. From what you have seen of Invincible, what do you think of Alan the Alien?
Fine. I mean, in first season, we haven't seen a ton of him. I'm sure they do more of them later. Yeah, I really do have to catch up on. I feel like I just gotta catch up on.
Ghetto Jesus, thank you for the $5 super chat. I saw Princess Mononoke in theaters yesterday afternoon, and no one else was in the theaters. It was creepy, cool, and depressing all at the same time.
That's like when I first saw it. I saw it with my dad, and nobody was in the theater. That's when it first came out.
JL, thank you for the 500 bits. If Universal Studios can make Nintendo World, I wish they would make a retro Universal Studios and bring back all the classic rides.
Unlikely, but it'd be neat.
Beautiful Snorlax, thank you for the $5 super chat. Unrelated, but favorite fast food place?
I do like Popeyes a lot.
I just had Popeyes
Yeah.
for dinner. It was good.
Mhm.
Alexander, thank you for the 500 bits. I know you said that Rat Race made you laugh more consistently overall, but one thing I think we can collectively agree on is that it's a mad, 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 mad world had a stronger payoff at the end.
I agree. The payoff in Rat Race is really, really bad.
Hyper Devil Fangirl Boner, thank you for the 500 bits. Did you know Matt Groening, originally had Phil Hartman in mind to be the voice of Zap Brannigan in Futurama? Phil Hartman had agreed to do it, but unfortunately he died before the first recording session. In fact, after his death, Matt insisted on Fry's first name being Philip in honor of Phil Hartman.
Oh, that part I didn't know. That's interesting.
Yeah.
But I think it's very obvious he was supposed to play. I was Zach.
Zap Brannigan.
Zap. That was it. Yeah, because Billy West is clearly doing a Phil Hartman voice with that.
Crass, thank you for the $5 super chat. There's also a certain video about the internet stuff. You should watch it. It's really funny. It's one of the most famous vids on the internet.
Once I know the name of it, I will.
Ulysses, thank you for the $5 super chat. What was a movie that surprised you by good it was? For me, it was Kingsman: The Secret Service. Heard nothing about it, and I was blown away.
I don't want to say the Puss in Boots sequel, but maybe that, because I heard it was good. I'm like, all right, I'm a little curious. I just didn't expect it to be that good. The Spider-Verse one too. I was really surprised how good that was.
Max, thank you for the $5 super chat. Apologies if it's been asked before, but what's your opinion on the show Blue-Eyed Samurai? Personally, it's the only reason I have Netflix still.
That's another one where I think I got maybe 4 episodes in and I have to finish it up. I was really liking it, but just other stuff got in the way. I saw some fan art the last convention I was at. I'm like, yeah, I gotta finish that up.
You do. I will encourage you.
I will.
Zek Cornett, thank you for the $10 super chat. Hey, Doug, got a debate to break for you. Which DC show do you think was better, Young Justice or the original Teen Titans?
I haven't seen all of Young Justice. Yeah, so I guess I can't say. I did like Teen Titans, but I just have to see all of Young Justice.
Logan, thank you for the $2 super chat. Logan, thank you for the $5 super chat. Even with superhero fatigue, is there a superhero or story you'd love to see get explored more on the big screen? Also, love you guys.
I really would love to see X-Men done by the MCU with a new cast, though. That's my big thing. I want to see their take on what they would do. And I don't know. We always talk about. I think Squirrel Girl would be kind of a fun movie. I know nothing about the kid. I know very little, but like what I have heard, I feel like a movie on her would be pretty fun.
JL, thank you for the 500 bits. 4K77, 4K80, and 4K83 are the best ways of watching Star Wars without the special editions.
Gotcha. All right, I'll keep that in mind.
T-Wool, thank you for the 500 bits. I got a movie recommendation for you, Doug. It's a Vincent Castle film called Doberman, and it's a fun film about over-the-top characters and bank robbing. It's a French film, so you'll have to watch it dubbed, but even then, it's great.
Never heard of it. Yeah, I'll try to check it out.
Nicholas, thank you for the $5 super chat. How you guys feeling about Pixar's Elio? Interested, nervous, apathetic, something else?
Looks good. It looks decent. The villain looks a little. It's like, oh, we're going this route, okay, but like they could still turn it into something.
Haunted Joker, thank you for the 500 bits. Any other pets other than Chaplin? Fave Gene Hackman movie.
Yeah, I got another cat named Buster, and favorite Gene Hackman movie. Maybe Unforgiven.
JL, thank you for the 600 bits. Have your thoughts changed on Good Burger, or are they still the same? And have you seen Good Burger 2 yet?
No, I bet Good Burger 2 is funny because I think they have an awareness of what the first one is. So it's pretty hard to mess that up. But no, it's still not my thing.
Okay, and we did it. 2 minutes to spare. We
Alrighty.
have caught up. Ramirez over on Twitch asks, do you prefer Bad Boys or a Goofy movie? And in terms of the review, what did I watch?
Bad Boys or a Goofy movie?
That's
Uh,
the choices.
I guess depends what mood I'm in.
Yeah.
I like a bad Goofy.
July Media over on YouTube asks, have you seen the 1958 B movie Earth versus the Spider?
Maybe just clips. I don't think I've seen the whole movie.
Cute Mario Bros. Rebooted. Thank you for the $2 super chat. Guess who's back? Back again. Swag is back.
Good to have you back.
Yeah, glad you're here. Crass, thank you for the $2 super chat. There's also a YTP by CS188 about the Jameson stuff.
I think I've seen that in the thumbnails when I was doing research on it. I haven't watched the video yet, though.
Logan, thank you for the $2 super chat. What was the worst movie you've seen in theaters?
In theaters? I can name the two I walked out on. I walked out of the remake of The Haunting because I love the original. And then I walked out of the sequel to Zorro. I just both of those. I'm like, I could be doing better things with my time. So I guess that.
Okay. JL, thank you for the 500 bits. Have a good night, guys. Hope you've had a good weekend.
You too.
Yeah, cool. Great. Well, and that might be the perfect way to wrap things up. I'm sorry. I know we only got to like 2 non-paid questions. We try our best,
That's a lot. We try our best. I'm sorry.
Anyway, thank you all so very much for being here. We super duper appreciate it. We do over on Twitch have content 5 days a week, so go on over there and follow us if you wouldn't mind. As we said last week, same applies this week. There's no Friday Doug Gaming stream. We're going to be at C2E2 this weekend. So if you're also planning on being at C2E2 in Chicago, stop on by. We're Small Press 5, SP5. Is that where we're at? Okay,
yes.
Yeah. That's where you can find us. So come find us at C2E2 in the real world. Brave the sunlight. No, I'm just kidding.
It's mostly inside, so you don't have to brave it for long.
That's true. That's true. All right, everyone. Have a wonderful evening, and we will see you all later.
Bye-bye!